So next up we're going to do the People's Choice Award, because I do want you all to enjoy this piece. So, People's Choice this year goes to a young lady called Rachel.
Crazy honour to be here. This is my first time in Nimbin and performing at this, so I'm really excited. But yeah.
You look like a nurse.
I hate you. Now I need to get serious. I'm leaving behind the life you've come to love. You will say your final farewells with a little trepidation. You will shake hands, share hugs, and dole out your number freely, with promises to keep in touch like public school permission slips, and that they'll never be authentic, or even signed. You will not cry. You will want to cry. It will be easier if you do, but you won't. You have far too much pride. You will wear your smile like a badge of honour, proof that there is more courage than you realised in what first felt like running away. You will wish you could stay. On the drive home, you will sing far too loudly, off-key and out of tune to the songs that will forever remind you of everything you feel in this very moment. Remind yourself, you were never meant to build a life here. You were only passing through. See, the first Christmas I was old enough to understand why people looked down on my hometown. I begged my dad for a basketball hoop, started practicing my jump shot, hoping that one day these legs would be strong enough to jump me out of this rough neighbourhood, cul-de-sac suburb. But my bones, well, they called my mind's bluff, because it wasn't my feet playing anchor, it was you, and you, and you, and me, and all of us, because our hearts are hot air balloons, weighed down by too many people wanting to fly. And I wanted it too, so I closed my eyes and flew 9,235 miles away from everything I'd ever known. Realised this sense of home, yeah, it doesn't always have to be homegrown. So I used to walk alone because I never seemed to like the same scenes as all these other teens around me. We were cut from a different cloth. I, a blank canvas, and they were ripped jeans, broken fly screens. Yeah, they kept mosquitoes out, but they never let any life in. Their moral compasses seemed to spin, rarely pointing due north, and I was torn because I wanted to see the world. But the only world envisioned by this town was found at the bottom of a bottle. There are no barbed wire fences here, no watchtowers, pepper spray, or gun-carrying guards, but it is still a jail cell, and we are all still prisoners. I have been digging my way out for decades. My spade? It's a stubborn heart, a head full of promise and an illusion of destiny. Let the best of me be deported from this dead-end district. Leave the rest of me. Because I don't want dependence to be something I have to live with, go to sleep with, so I've been sleepless far too long. But you know what? I'm starting to think that maybe our intuitions have always been wrong. You don't need to be asleep to dream. I mean, you don't need to be asleep to dream most of the time. I'm dreaming just to keep myself awake, alive, going 95 down that freeway of life, and I know everyone says, slow down, Rachel. Slow down. Sometimes you need to pump the brakes to survive. But I'm terrified of living on cruise control or being stuck. This town is a traffic light, the rest of the world pedestrians. Now I'm just watching them pass by. So I drive, I fly, and most days I swerve in and out of this life like traffic cones trying to find homes and goodbyes. See, I've been digging my way out now for quite some time, and I've just finally traded up from a pickaxe to a passport, so please don't dub this bravery. Don't call it confidence. Not courage. It's not that the thought of leaving doesn't terrify me. It does. It's that the thought of staying, yeah, that has always scared me more. The other day, I saw a kid at the station, and as we started to talk, I realised that he was far braver than I. He treated his posture and his pride like an art form. So we were standing on that platform. And yeah, sure, he had shoes on his feet, looked like he had enough food to eat, high school blazer, white collar and teeth, but as the lull in our conversation started to reach its peak, he leaned in close and he told me, like a secret, he used to be hungry. He'd once been tired of his diet that was snacking on life's side dish of stereotypical ideas that he didn't belong here, that he doesn't belong here. So he was standing at Central Station, but the combination of scuffed shoes on his feet, tunnel vision eyes, full crest on his chest says he's of a lower vocation. No chance of salvation, he's of that western suburbs damnation, he whispers, Mount Druitt High. And I guess the look in my eyes must have seemed apprehensive as he automatically starts getting all defensive, telling me, but it's okay, I'm not carrying a knife, I know who my father is, I promise I'm not a drug addict, I haven't even met any of them. But that lately he's been wondering when did our zip codes become code for the level of respect we should be shown. Tells me when he was playing in the sandbox, he didn't care what postbox he got his mail from, but he grew up being ashamed of where he came from. See, the week after half the Mount Druitt suburb had to be evacuated because of a homemade bomb, that there were riot vans at parties to save sufferers, the screwdriver stabbings, the emblem on his blazer made well a bit about a clava, he reckons people would clutch their handbags closer as he walked by. And as he tells me this, he tries to smile. But I can tell he's struggling to keep his claws retracted, sick of being looked at like a dog trying to get up off all fours and act that, contrary to popular belief, well, he could actually be a human being. He tells me society still thinks they need to teach him, train him not to bite, spit, clean his fur in public, that lately he's spent so much time swallowing his pride it's been making him sick, so no, he's no longer ashamed of where he lives. Nor will he pretend to be scared by those you deem unfit for higher society. He's tired of lying, see. He doesn't even lower his voice when he confesses to me the truth of it. He tells me that, yeah, I know some dealers and addicts, because they were the kids I grew up with, played catch and kiss and hopscotch with, but most of them are no longer chasing girls. They hopped up on scotch instead to chase these pills. He remembers them making bunny ears out of shoelaces. But most of them have fallen down the rabbit hole like a new rat race, and I tell him, yeah, I understand, I too am dying to get out of this place. And his smile straight away fades. His voice is icy when he tells me he used to think the same, until he came to the conclusion that calling anywhere else home would only ever be an illusion. Sure, he tells me, take your vacation, but don't belittle us with shovels trying to dig your way out, sneaking away in the night. The doors are wide open. See, we're just hoping you'll walk out proud, back straight, smile loaded with proof to anyone looking down on this town that we can be more than statistics, logistics of a marginalised stereotype. He tells me every time you step outside, I want you to keep your postcode on your chest like a bulletproof vest, a test, 2770. And just know if there is anyone that will cut you loose because of 4 digits you didn't have the chance to choose, then you are 2,770 times a person they will ever be. Don't you dare forget about this community. See, it's lunacy, hypocrisy. If you preach morality but still believe you'll be free from calling this place your home just because their way of living doesn't fit in with your own, I met a kid at the station. He held himself like a work of art and he taught me we are all of us masterpieces. Because see, even if we've seen us sculpted in shadows, a gallery in the ghetto and far too many critics saying our beauty is diminished by the suburb we were finished in, doesn't mean we don't owe it to our artists to shine, kid, soldier of this blue-collar battlefield. You are the light that's made me realise I've merely been digging trenches all this time. Brown soil beds in which to tuck the best parts of who I am, that which grew from this, my homeland. So that once I've seen the world, I can come back to a treasure map neighbourhood, El Dorado suburb. We are all nothing but lost children. See, when speaking of freedom, we just need to be reminded of those days we knew we'd find it in our own backyard, hidden, and it's still hiding, so we went digging, but lately I've been diving through this black hole escape plan. I'm telling you, we all just need reminding of those days when we were armed with that same old stubborn heart, a belief in destiny, our dreams defied gravity, but we were secure in the certainty that buried deep beneath this place that we call home, if we care enough to search for it, we can all of us find gold. Thanks. Yay!